All right, everyone. Good to see you here. Super excited to have you join our space today on AI and Web3. I'm Eric from the Ascendix team, and today we have got some awesome folks from various projects teams with us. We are diving into the projects and getting the takes on whether AI in Web3 is sparking this bull run. And just a reminder that we will select 10 winners from our listeners, as well as from comments under the tweet for the best questions, with each winner sharing $250 worth of rewards. So don't hesitate to join the conversation later on. Okay, can't wait to hear what our guests have to say and share some great insights with all of you. So without further ado, let's get this conversation started. Hey, teams, how are you doing?
Hey, happy to be here.
Great to see you. Um, Perhaps let's go around and give a brief intro to the audience for those who are not familiar with you and the project. Why don't we go with you first? Any new?
Sure. So Any Inu, it's not only a cute purple dog with some utilities, it's also the most multi-chain meme coin ever. We're on 17 chains and counting. Going to be on 60 plus by the end of the year. And like the key thing with any Inu is it's one fixed supply, independent of the underlying ledger technology. If there's a secure bridge we can use to get any Inu on to a new chain, we can do that. And the beauty of any Inu too is it's entirely community driven and like permissionless. So we have this like fixed supply. I personally don't have ownership of everything, and like the community is free to just like expand to more and more chains. But yes, as like the developer, we've been pushing in those directions. And then from like an AI angle, on the one side, you have AI on the blockchain, which kind of makes fun of that notion because actually running AI is like highly memory intensive. But at the same time, there are legitimate use cases for AI on the blockchain. Using the ledger as a system of account, as like a layer of indirection for GPU resources, for API resources. So there are real applications, but we also get to make fun of AI on the blockchain a little bit. Um, so
Great.
that's us.
Yeah, thanks for the intro. Um, how about Herbert? Do you want to give a little background? Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Eric. Thank you, SNX team, for the invite. Hello, everyone. This is Herbert. I'm the general manager of Asia from Divinity Foundation. So, Divinity Foundation is one of the oldest foundation in crypto. We are the primary developer behind ICP, or Internet Computer Protocol. Divinity Foundation is headquartered in Zurich, Switzerland, founded in 2016. About 3 years ago, we launched the mainnet of ICP, one of the leading layer one blockchain networks in the industry. So, in the last 3 years, ICP has been growing rapidly globally as well as in Asia. Thousands of developers are building on ICP, ranging from social network, GameFi, metaverse, NFT, DID, and now obviously deepin RWA and AI. So very happy to be on this panel to share what's the latest from the ICP ecosystem and share some of the most exciting projects from our ecosystem. Yeah, thank you, Eric.
Thanks, Herbert. And what about you, Samuel?
All right, thank you. I'm Samuel. I'm the representative of Indonesian AINN. And what is AINN? It's a leaderless inscription based on the BRC20 protocol launched in May 2023, representing a strong consensus on the long-term value of the fusion between Web3 and AI. The AINN community consists of high-quality holders of who have a strong belief in Web3 plus AI, sharing the vision to profoundly integrate Web3 with AI and create immense value for human society. Under this vision, over 30 ecosystem projects are being developed around AI and creating various use cases for these inscriptions. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel. All right. With the introductions, let's go deeper into our topic for today, especially AI in Web3. What's your view on what's happening now with AI, especially in Web3 and the crypto space? Why are you so optimistic about it? Can you share some thoughts about it? Anyone, please chime in.
So I can share like the optimistic points of view here. So obviously, with like the emergence of like Bitcoin and Ethereum, a large narrative there where people were using these like swaths of like GPUs to like mine, right? And at the same time, you know, you have gamers like around the world with all of these like GPUs like sitting idle, and you know, GPUs and crypto have always been interlinked since the early like Bitcoin days. So it seems like a very logical like first use of those like GPUs and like crypto is that you can incentivize users to make their GPUs available for AI applications, both for inference and training. And that's like a very obvious use case. And then, you know, you have a blockchain, a ledger, which is unit of account. So you have some network where, you know, you can train models using this decentralized network of GPUs, as well as do inference on like any incoming requests using this decentralized network of GPUs using the ledger as a unit of account. And there, you know, that's like a very great use case of AI. There's very practical applications of using blockchains. The fact that there's like consensus around timestamps to use that for image verification. You know, deep fakes have become a problem lately. And then me personally, with like any Inu, I think there's really exciting things you could do with making APIs accessible for AI. And I can talk a little bit about that later, but that's just my general view on AI and blockchain and why we should be optimistic about it.
Great, that's a good take. Um,
Sure, can yeah, I can. Very much agree with Anu. I think this is the best time for our industry. As the AI craze is going on. I mean, AI is nothing new. I came from Amazon Web Services before joining Definitive Foundation. AI has always been one of the largest narratives from Silicon Valley, China, Asia for the last, let's say, 10, 15 years. But clearly, we hit a tipping point in the last 12 months with the rise of ChatGPT, OpenAI, and Stable Diffusion and all that. I think that is good for Web3 because for the last 15 years, we in the crypto or Web3 industry, we are still looking for a mass adoption killer application. I mean, even though we have all the wonderful things on Ethereum, smart contracts, NFT, DeFi Summer, et cetera, and the metaverse now, RWA and Deepin. But as an industry, compared to the traditional good old web internet, we're still a tiny portion. It's still a tiny tribe. We still need to find a killer application that can resonate with everyday Joe in the street. And AI seems to be heading that direction. Even though I think right now, the way it is, a lot of capital has been deployed in developing large language models and all that. That is beyond the reach of independent developers and the small startups. So even for AI, there is still a hunger for developing applications that can be used by the everyday users, which strangely, I think makes AI industry and Web3 industry sort of in the same boat. But as Annie just mentioned, I think there is a convergence there between these two industries because we in Web3 we are very good at using tokenomics and all that to incentivize early adopters to be creative in devising ways to align interests with all the stakeholders, whether they are investors, exchanges, enterprises, and end users. And that's something that I think the AI industry can learn and can take from the Web3. So I think this is a great moment for the industry, and but then on the other hand, this also has posed a major challenge for crypto because AI runs. If you look at the three layers that AI touches on, we have the data layer where the user's data is collected and feed into different models, and then the training of large language models. None of them is happening on crypto. They all happen on centralized cloud computing platforms such as AWS, Google, or Microsoft Azure. And obviously none of us on this Twitter Spaces, hundreds of our listeners, none of us can claim ownership of our own data. So that is, where does that leave us? I think that for the industry, we need to figure out how to provide computing for on the blockchain. That is the first step because that's what AI is all about. It's about computing first from general purpose computing now with the rise of NVIDIA to accelerated computing. But computing is a keyword. But then in crypto, it's all about ledger so far. It's about verifying ownership of your assets on through a distributed ledger. That's wonderful and all that, but we need to go beyond that. And then that's where there's a unique opportunity for ICP and all the thousands of developers that are busy building applications in ICP because ICP is a very unique layer one blockchain that is unlike any other, like Ethereum or Solana or Avalanche or Cardano, etc. Because our smart contract called a canister smart contract is able to provide not only a ledger but also computation power as well as data storage. So it's more like a decentralized version of Amazon Web Services. So if you are a web developer, you'll be able to build your websites or SaaS or game or social network on a canister smart contract on ICP, which means we are uniquely positioned to provide verified computing on the blockchain. A lot of applications, which I happy to share uh, on the subsequent questions in our ecosystem, they are built 100% on chain, 100% on chain. That means not only the backend APIs are running through our Kinesis smart contract, but also the front end of their services. And that is something that no other layer one blockchain is capable of doing. Other layer ones, they have to work with the data storage providers such as Filecoin or Arweave to figure out where to store the data. And they still need to, a lot of them still need to go to a centralized cloud computing platform such as AWS for hosting the web services. But that, we don't need that on ICP. We can verify the computation through our very unique way of consensus. So I think this is still a very early days for the convergence of these two really exciting industries. But this is probably the best time I think for developers who we know that a lot of developers they are not a big fan of a lot of things we do in crypto, because they think it's a bit of a too much speculation. It doesn't really create applications yet that can be used by everyday users. So a lot of them are very interested in AI. So we have a good opportunity to bring those AI focused developers into crypto, to eventually the mass adoption. That is the common goal for all of us. Yeah, I'll pause here. Thank you, Eric.
Thanks about that. Those are very interesting points and great insight. I think we'll definitely dive into more about decentralized computing that you mentioned, and I think a lot of audience will be interested to know more about it. Hey, we just have Johnny Five joined our chat. Hey team, how are you?
Hey, what's up, good brother?
Hey, hi. Great to see you here. Why don't you give us a brief intro about yourself and the team?
No problem, man. Hey, what's up, chat? It's Millie. I'm from J5, representing the J5 community, also known as Crypto Millie. Um, I'm a YouTube influencer, Docs YouTube influencer, crypto enthusiast that created a cool meme coin centered around the 80s hit movie Short Circuit, the famous robot J5. And we just wanted to create something cool for our community, as it's a loyalty and reward token, but also a token of integrity and character and a twist around AI and memes. So I'm loving the alpha here from a lot of the teams on the board. And yeah, we just wanted to bring back fun to the meme coin sector, but also character and integrity, and showing that there are teams and devs out there that want to do the right thing with all the BS that we faced in the crypto space. So we do appreciate this opportunity, Ascend X, and yeah, man, loving this space right here.
Hey, thanks, Millie, and the J5 team. Okay. Yeah, let's talk more about AI and Web3. Uh, Samuel, do you have anything to share about what we just talked about on why everyone's so optimistic about?
Like I like the idea of the optimism talking about AI and Web3, especially that they already mentioned one like GPT-4, OpenAI, Cloud, Anthropic, and also last but not least, it's the NVIDIA AI's hardware and software innovations. Like this advancement, coupled with the emergence of decentralized technology like blockchains, offer the potential for secure and transparent infrastructure in AI systems. That's what I thought. Addressing the concern of data privacy and centralized control. Moreover, there's a growing interest in investment in exploring the convergence of AI and Web3, right? With the goal of fostering equitable, open, and users control AI ecosystems. Well, talking about integrating AI into our project, AINN, one more time, is leaderless inscriptions. So strictly speaking, we are not a project, but AIN is an ecosystem, merge numerous AI applications with Web3 technologies. Currently, over 30 ecosystem projects are constructing this new ecosystem. Among this, AINN Layer 2 is a Bitcoin Layer 2 public blockchain supporting AI applications, with BTC and AINN being used for the gas fee. Additionally, the ecosystem includes ANVD, AI image video generation tool, Sweetie AI, and AI virtual games. Also include the AI smart investment advising a DeFi applications, all providing the diverse use case for AINN. For example, AINN is used as a pass card in a consumption scenario offered by ANVD's image to video generation. Other projects include AI and image for image generation and public AI for decentralized data labeling. We welcome more AI projects to AI and ecology construction and jointly build a more open and diverse AI plus Web3 ecosystem. Thank you.
Thanks, Samuel. What about others? Are you already like integrating or have plans to integrate AI specifically to your projects or to your products?
Sure. As like a base level, like next steps we're going to see over like next week is just like a chatbot for projects. So first of all, it's like a meme token, but aspirationally down the line, one thing I'm personally excited about is any API. It's a way for large language models to put one-off requests to any web API. So currently, if you're working with large language models, there's a lot of siloed data you can't access. So suppose I want to make a one-off query to Bloomberg, LexisNexis, some Google API, some AWS API, right? I have to sign up for an account, generate an API key, go through some captchas, set up billing, huge pain, right? If you could instead have a decentralized network of relayers where you're like, hey, this relayer is responsible for these APIs. I can get a GET request for this API. It's going to cost this many credits, and execute that. That's something incredibly valuable for large language models. Like suppose in your interaction flow with a large language model, uh, it comes up that you want specific financial data only available on Bloomberg. Then like the model can say, oh, I can get this data for you. It's going to be like 8 credits, and then you can query that for a fixed cost. And then around doing this on the blockchain, it's about keeping node operators honest, and then using the ledger itself as a system of account for these API requests. So that's something down the line. Like near term, it's just going to be classic chatbot and large language model for any inu. Regarding more advanced like applications, like it's pretty difficult to have any of those models actually running on the blockchain because like blockchain is like highly available, so it's very memory constrained. So naturally, if something's very memory constrained, it's going to be expensive to do like actual machine learning on chain. So I don't foresee that. I instead imagine blockchain as more of a unit of account uh, for these machine learning services.
Thanks. You brought up a good point. I mean, about the API and uh, to have it in a decentralized way. Just wondering, like, about maybe like, does like Divinity or ICP already offering or planning to offering something like this to basically help, you know, the users of your ecosystem to get to access data?
Sorry, sorry, Ari, is that a third question, or is that a specific follow-on question
It's
for
more
Andy?
about, I think we're talking about like how basically to integrate AI to a project or to a product. And I think any brought a point that, oh, okay, maybe some of the API or API layers can be actually developed in a decentralized way. So I was just wondering if, like, say, Dfinity or IPC actually offer some of these services related to maybe
Oh, I
AI
see. So
access.
yeah, I see. So it's a great question, Ari. So I can share from ICP standpoint. We are going to run a native AI smart contract on the blockchain very soon. So I just share a link on this Twitter Spaces. Just a few days ago, our founder and chief scientist, Dominic Williams, the founder of Divinity Foundation and also ICP, he showed a demo video. On this video, he demonstrated how to run a large language model through our canister smart contract that is able to it's a simple image detection demo, but it does a pretty good job to detect a tiger, a Porsche car, as well as a coffee mug. I know this is still obviously this cannot be done pretty much on any other blockchains, so it's only available on ICP. But it's already possible. It's already possible to run a simple version of large language model and to do training completely 100% on chain on ICP. And last year, when Dominic Williams, our founder, was in Hong Kong, he made the announcement that in the next 18 to 24 months, Divinity Foundation, we are working on creating a dedicated subnet that consists of entirely of GPU machines. So that once we have this subnet up and running, we'll be able to run, as I mentioned in the beginning, native AI smart contract that can do not only the data collection, obviously, but also more importantly, the training of large language models, and also eventually inference, which is really computation heavy. So in ICP, we are able to do that. That is because the way the smart contract canister is structured is like all the data persists on a stable memory in our canister. Currently, a canister can have up to 400 gigabyte stable memory. So it's just in terms of what it can do, it's miles ahead of Solidity contract. I mean, Solidity is really quite rudimentary, shall we say, in this regard. It does. I mean, it does a couple of things, but really simple in terms of, Jerry owns this, Alice owns that. If you swap some assets, let's verify the asset ownership. That is barely scratching the surface of the entire computation, the world of computation. But on ICP, this is already quite possible. And also, once we will be able to have this subnet, a GPU machine subnet up and running, eventually we see a future where we can have some applications from the ICP ecosystem that can build something like the hugging face from AI, where all the developers, and whether you have coding skill or not, you'll be able to create your own AI agent. Right? AI agent is now all the rage. I think in the foreseeable future, it's possible that 3 years from now or 5 years from now, we'll no longer be talking about applications or apps. We're going to be talking about AI agent that can sense and interface with the external environment, and go around the internet to fetch data for you, to do your bidding, whether you are online or not. That is quite a quite an interesting future that a lot of new generation of developers on ICP are building.
Great. Hear a lot of cool things that you mentioned uh, that you guys are developing. That's great. Um, hey, J5 team, how do you use or leverage AI to engage with the community? I'm curious to hear about that.
Well, you already know throughout the space there's a lot of things on Telegram going on as far as bots to like interact utilizing AI technology. Us on a personal level, down the line, personally, in the future we'll be rolling out a platform that will allow people to have an easier onboard to cryptocurrency. So the platform, we already named it the J5 Chain Hub, and this platform pretty much takes algorithms from throughout the space to help people find cryptocurrencies in the beginning stages. So we're utilizing algorithms from volume, experienced traders, and also API keys from different websites, some of the best websites throughout the space, to create a all-in-one hub where you can pretty much find cryptocurrencies in its beginning stages, NFTs in its beginning stages, and pretty much give using AI technology to give yourself first movers advantage. So that right there give us a little bit of utility aspect of our crypto. Of course, right now we're just focused on the mean aspect and integrating different AI projects across the space. But that's a little bit of alpha for our project. We're definitely building out a platform where you will utilize our token to be able to experience this AI technology to help yourself have a better experience for crypto gem hunting. And that's what my channel is about, crypto gem hunting. So I decided to come up with a meme coin, but also add that utility aspect to our project.
That's great to hear. So anyone wants to add more to this topic before we go on to the next? Okay. Now let's talk about this in general, like the concept of AI as it continue to become popular. How can an ordinary user, or maybe in specifically Web3 user, participate or basically leverage that? Can you share some thoughts on that?
So I think an obvious way is to become a node operator in some of these AI networks, to provide their own GPU resources. They can query these models as well. I'm more optimistic on the training side than the inference side, personally, just in terms of reliability and user experience. But certainly on the training side, there's a lot of opportunities for users to participate. In our own applications, like any env, like any API, being able to bring in siloed data and like make one-off requests to APIs is like very useful when interacting with large language models. So currently, when constructing like agents of large language models, a popular development kit is called LangChain, and the LangChain, for every API or integration you have to do, you need a separate API key for every one of those integrations. If you could have a unified API key, a unified way of accessing all of these APIs for one-off requests, as well as like a system of like credits to pay for those requests, I believe that could be something very valuable in the space.
Yeah, I can add some to this question as well. I think for an area, I think when you ask about the ordinary web users, we can assume that this group of users, well, it's like 99% of all the web users, probably don't have much technical expertise. Probably we cannot assume they are coders or developers. They're just everyday users. I think for this main, really, this is the main target when we talk about mass adoption. What they can do right now is to just to experiment the emerging new generation of AI decentralized applications from Web3, just to experience, and then see which one takes. Obviously, there are a few ways that an everyday user can potentially participate, but I think some of them are quite difficult. They are just basically beyond the reach of ordinary users, such as, I know, Annie just mentioned about running a node user. One EMC, EMC Edge Matrix Computing, which is one of the projects from the ICP ecosystem. They build this AI marketplace. This AI marketplace using our Canister smart contract. And the EMC community has been growing pretty rapidly in the last couple of months. Obviously, another example is IONet that has been getting all the buzz in recent days from Solana. But if for ordinary users, the only way, if you want to run the node from EMC or IO.net, it's quite difficult. You can't just number one, it's extremely, if not mission impossible, to get hold of all the NVIDIA chips, 4090 or H100. It's just not something that can be bought from Costco, and or Fry's, and and they have to, in order to run nodes, they will have to basically get the bare machines and do a lot of fine tuning to make sure the machines can run those configuration files. So that is actually quite hard, I think, for everyday users. But users can experience some other, easier, more user friendly applications. For example, another decentralized application from ICP is called a Dmail. Dmail is now one of the largest social networks from Web3 with, I think, with more than 300,000 daily active users. So they enable users to send and receive emails on blockchain. And a couple of months ago, they implemented ChatGPT 3.5 in the product that will help users to draft email using ChatGPT. So that's fairly intuitive. Everybody can use that. And for the EMC team, they have developed this bot Javi, as in Iron Man and Avengers. So Javi it's a very versatile chatbot that can just interact with you and answer all kinds of questions, from the weather today in Hong Kong to what should be the BTC price 24 months from now. So that is something that I think everyday users can experience. But I will also encourage, if there are such users out there on this call, to pay attention about where do you store your data. I think this is something that is central to all of us. Pay attention to where do you store your data, and who is using your data. Do they get permission of using your data? Right? Because if they're not, then that could be an area for potential concerns, such as we are now all using different kinds of chatbots, powered by different large language models. Then who gets to store all the prompts, right? Because the prompts are the key to initiate a conversation with AI, with AGI, and AGI coming soon. But those prompts, they're very personal. They can tell a lot about who you are, what you do, and what you got. And in some way, this is actually very private. So, and I think for users, you gotta be careful about which platform do you want to share all these very highly personalized prompts with. So I always encourage developers, ecosystem, try to figure out ways that you can help users to preserve their privacy, but at the same time, creating APIs, maybe using some sort of ZK zero knowledge proof, so that they can still, without giving away their private information, they can still interact with powerful AI bots. Another project from ICP is called a PADO, PADO, PADO. It's a team of computer science, cryptography, CS PhDs. So they are devising this protocol that is trying to tap into like most of the personal private data that exists today. And right now, it's only a very tiny portion of that data is on the open web. Right. I think that right now the industry, for the entire industry of AI, the bottleneck doesn't seem to be the large language models, which is getting all the attention. It's really, where do those large language models fetch the data from? If they don't have the good data, and it doesn't really give that much more intelligent answers. But the vast majority of users' data, whether for individuals or for enterprises, they don't exist. They are not available on the open web. They exist on your Synology private servers, your private drive on centralized platforms such as AWS or Google. So I think there's a huge area for growth of using the ZK technology to make those data available, and then eventually they can be fed into the large language models. So as user, pay attention to these kind of things, and don't just be open minded and experimental, but also be careful. Don't give away too much of your private data.
All right, thanks, Pepper, for that. Um, Anyone who want to speak about this topic? Or maybe we can think about what do you think? What's your opinion, like in terms of like how big or to what extent this AI narrative will grow along with this bull market?
I think AI has been super central the past year and a half. I think when GPT-3 became publicly accessible, that was really like the takeoff moment for the AI narrative, not only in blockchain but the tech industry in general. I guess you can see it in the public markets, the private markets. Just how much economic value we're assigning to the AI narrative. But it makes sense because it's all about trying to achieve this like singularity in the future, where you want to get to a level of intelligence where the intelligence can actually improve itself, and then you have an exponential rate of improvement. And this is, when Elon Musk is talking about the dangers of AI and super intelligence, he's really talking about this exponential where AI gets to a point where it's able to rapidly uh, improve itself. So I don't think the AI narrative is going anywhere. I think AI really is invading every aspect of our lives, and like rightly so. Um, like the entire software industry, like what was it? You used to have people with like pen and paper, human calculators, doing all of this work. And then software programs, came along and like formalized all of that into programs. First we had books, then we had software programs, and now we have AI that can, do these same processes. But then we're rapidly going to get to the point where we have AI making AI. Um, and that's the really crazy part. So it's not going away anywhere. And since AI is entering every aspect of our lives, it's just sensible it would be in blockchain as well.
Yeah, I personally think that way too, and I think you have and other teams have touched on like a few use cases already. Like you said, API and data access, emails, chatbots, and I think Java talked about like querying cryptos, leveraging AI. Do you guys think like there are other like important use cases from AI, especially in like in Web3 in the crypto space that you'll probably see in the near future?
Uh,
Yeah.
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I think the new use cases for AI. I think there is. I mean, one that is very important for crypto or Web3 is smart contract, obviously. And then potentially we can use AI to do automatic smart contract audit. So that is already so that's something that we in Definitive Foundation and ICP developers we are trying to work on. I mean that's the power of smart contract. It's autonomous, it's trustless, and it persists forever. But obviously, there are a lot of security vulnerabilities when it comes to smart contract. That's why security auditing is so essential for our industry. And I think that's something that AI can help with because it's expensive to conduct. Obviously, not right now. It's all basically human based audits. It takes a few months and takes very skilled um, developers to do this kind of audits. But potentially we can use AI. Now if you see the power of Copilot from Microsoft with the power of OpenAI can do, it's entirely conceivable that in the not so distant future, we'll be able to conduct automatic AI audit for smart contracts, and that's gonna be, I think, a huge area for growth. I think another area is social network, right? Just to which is a bit of a follow on to what I mentioned earlier from the previous question. We need to figure out where to store the data. Where do those large language models fetch the data from? Right now, they are all in the traditional Web2 social networks, whether that's WeChat or WhatsApp and Kakao, Line, and Telegram. They are still on the centralized platforms, and most of them are not open. Maybe with the exception of Telegram. Telegram is a bit of a is a few steps ahead of others on this regard. But I think that's an opportunity for Web3 developers because obviously SocialFi has been quite a buzz in the last 2 years, with a lot of interest in social focused applications from Frentech to Nostr to Stepan to Expat, etc., etc. If we can figure out a way that can mass migrate users from traditional instant messenger platforms to a more open, a more interoperable Web3, that, and with some ZK proof, as I mentioned earlier, and that will lay down a good foundation. But not like a WeChat, but really an entirely new kind of social network that is running completely on chain. That has a lot of, I think, a lot of potential in the future. And in the last, but not the least, is I think in this area we need to talk about decentralized AI, right? Because AI right now at all the layers, the data collection, training of large language models, and inference, they all happen on centralized platforms, which means if those platforms, and we are talking about 6 or 7 companies in the whole world that have the capital and the power to continue to build those kind of platforms, if this trend continues, the industry will become more centralized, which is another direction we in Web3 want to see. So I think DAI, whether called a DAI or decentralized AI, is one of the new narratives of our time. We need to figure out how to harness the power of AI, but also contain this beast so that it does not become too powerful to abuse all the data that users now just willingly provide to the different platforms. For example, in Definity Foundation, we a few months ago we launched this 5 million developer grant. We have a total $200 million grant to invite developers to build applications on ICP. But out of that, we carve out this 5 million DAI grant just to incentivize developers to build AI-focused applications. So that is something that will be we're expecting to see a lot of interesting new cases. And also this EMC, one of the hardest AI projects from ICP. EMC team, they are right now they are doing this DAI hackathon to invite a lot of AI interested developers to use their SDK to build applications using the decentralized computation power from EMC, and they are having this is a final demo day during the token 24/9 Dubai in the middle of April. So those are the things to I think that we should pay attention to.
Thanks. I think just now, any you knew you were about to say something, or do you have?
Yeah, as we
Yeah.
talked about our
I just wanted to double down on what Herb was talking about over there when he was saying a lot of AI is centralized, which he definitely has a point, but it also awards opportunity in the Web3 space with a lot of these crypto companies that's trying to push data annotation in a decentralized way. As he stated, it's only a few companies out there that actually train AI, and most of it is a centralized way. You probably noticed that in Chat GPT. If you said something, it could give you a right or left response. But now you're starting to see these decentralized crypto companies come together, like we see from AGIX, Ocean, and Fetch, working to push out data annotation and the ability to train on machine learning in a decentralized fashion. So we need it. I mean, you're already starting to see the future of AI kind of like hit crypto with these developer toolkits. So no coding developer toolkits, giving everybody an opportunity in crypto if you want to be a creator to have your own personal token there. So that right there is another step in the right direction. And even when you think about data, right? Data is like the new oil for AI, right? AI can't live without data. There's also an area, right? A gray area where there will be a time where there's projects that will come out with data lockers and give you an opportunity to monetize your data as a consumer, because there's these companies out there that bounty our data to help deliver their brand and we don't even know, right? So security protection, that's something that's not really spoke on for AI. And of course, legislation and laws, we're starting to see countries, right? The EU are already developing laws for AI. So it's kind of clear that AI is the future. I think crypto is like the perfect complement to AI, because AI needs to have that currency, right? It's not like it's going to be passing out cash, right? So at some point AI will have its currency, and I think crypto, the blockchain, makes perfect sense. And even when you look at these deepen projects that's out there that's awarding regular people in the space an opportunity to earn and monetize your GPU and CPU. Right now there's projects that you can lend out your GPU, lend out your CPU to help these projects that need hosting and servers, where you can be monetized in return in cryptocurrency. So you're really starting to see the beginning of AI in a decentralized fashion. Of course, we're not there yet, but crypto is full of big brains, geniuses. Somebody will develop that utility that will award us to combat this centralization that we're seeing across the space. And then you got, of course, one of the richest guys in the world, Elon, who constantly is pushing out, things that you utilize AI. So I just feel like, man, if you're some way invested or you have AI integrated into your everyday life, it's a compliment. Even from a crypto aspect, you think about some of the best traders in the world right now, they're utilizing AI technology. They're not sitting on their computers all day. They have bots, they have things set up that allow them to enjoy their regular life, but they're utilizing AI technology. So there's tons of opportunity if you're coming new into crypto and Web3 just in general, where you can utilize this technology and actually compound and earn a passive income. So I'm just excited to where crypto is going, man. And I just want to touch down on some of the alpha these guys was dropping in the chat.
I just wanted to echo the auditing use case from earlier. I think it makes total sense. Like, I think the current like GPT-4 model and Opus model is like a pretty good like smart contract auditing. If anyone's familiar with like Devin, in terms of like automated coding and like project development, tools like that are going to make smart contracts really easy to develop by people. And I think if we're reasonably sure that the smart contracts we're developing, have associated test cases, that everything like functions as expected, like the complexity of applications that we're going to be able to build on blockchain are going to significantly increase, just because we're going to be able to use AI to audit these things as well as develop these applications in the first place. So I think the auditing use case makes total sense. Another personal use case I'm really enjoy is everyone's always talking about like deepfakes. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with like AI generated video, like images, and like all of that. And like, how do you like attest something is real or not? So like a very easy thing to do is like, oh, at the time an image is taken or a video is taken, you can take a hash of that video and like post it on chain, a proof of existence at that time, and that's a somewhat like mitigates these like deepfake issues. So that's like a direct application of like blockchain and uh, and AI. Um, I'm a bit bearish on the angle that like crypto is so sure. Yes, data. I think crypto can do really good things with like letting users own their data and monetize their own data. But in terms of like steering ourselves away from centralization, I don't think that's really possible in the way the world is going right now. Just because you have these large tech companies ordering billions of dollars worth of like H100 GPUs, like all of these like data centers, high memory bandwidth, and if they're going to be on the forefront of developing intelligence, which rapidly improves on intelligence, uh, I don't think the current pathway presented by crypto is good in that regard. It's going to be good for making other like AI models like more accessible and making the training of a certain subset of models more accessible. But for general intelligence and those types of models, I don't think it'll really help us with centralization.
Those are very great points. Thanks for the insight.
Hey, Eric, can
Yeah,
I can I add one? Can I just add something more?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's another area that should be receiving more attention, but it's probably not. With the rise of ChatGPT and all that, that is the proof of real. That is a proof of personhood or proof of people, basically to verify you are a human. Because as AGI is already on the horizon, we don't know when that's going to arrive. Maybe in the next 12 months or maybe 3 years, who knows? But certainly it's coming, AGI. Um, and then the real problem is, as everyday user, how can we, when we interface with a bot, a platform, some AGI intelligence agent, how can we prove we are a human? And how can we prove we are a different human from other users on the platform? that is these two problems have been increasingly difficult. I mean, we all have to handle that on a day-to-day basis. I think before we know, these two activities will take up a pretty substantial chunk of our time, and we only have 24 hours a day. So this is where Web3 technology can really come into play to provide that proof, to provide that this it's in crypto we do this because of the error. We have to make sure there's no these users, they are legitimate humans, not just bots. I think the same solution can probably apply with the proliferation of all the AI bots. And I think that's the area I think a lot of developers, if not already, should really be paying attention to. How to provide a tool to verify you are who you say you are, and it's not easy. It's not easy at all. If we look at I mean the movie scene from the original Blade Runner from 1982 by Ridley Scott. That is what 50 years, more than 50 years ago. But the situation still is still very much present today. We don't have an industry-wide solution to that just yet, but it's interesting and certainly fascinating and with a lot of huge growth potential.
That's a great one. Thanks for that. And I think it's probably a good time. Before we go to the audience, let's have touch on one more topic, perhaps about your future development plans for your projects. And also, I've seen quite a lot of questions raised about collaboration or partnerships, like something that you're working on or have already announced recently. Can you guys speak on that?
Sure. So at least for any new like chatbots are obviously forthcoming. There are a lot of like easy toolkits and frameworks for us to input all of our docs, input all of our messages, and then have chatbots spit things out. For us, it's quite useful since we're on so many chains. We have like contract addresses, info in like so many different places. Like having a chatbot would be very great for users. So in terms of like immediate next steps, things we're actively working on, that's there. Any API just because of the development timeline is far into the future for the project, and it's something potentially we do adjacent to any Inu, like raise any API as its own thing, and then provide a portion of governance for that to any Inu itself. Um, but at least for any Inu users, like next thing to expect is like chatbots in the project.
And who wants to go next?
Yeah, from ICP, there's just welcome all of you developers or investors or just users come to Hong Kong to attend the upcoming Web3 festival hosted by Wanxiang Group and the HK Group, where Definitive Foundation is one of the three title sponsors for this event. We have a long history of collaboration with HK Group, which is also an early investor of ICP. So in Hong Kong, in the second week of April, our founder Dominic Williams will be there to deliver a keynote titled "AI that is Smart Contract." So very, very relevant to the topic of discussion today. So if you are in Hong Kong, we welcome all of you to come to the event to say hi to Dom and share with Dom and the Definitive Foundation team. What's your feedback? What's your view on this whole on this AI and Web3 convergence? And also welcome all of you to attend our Hacker House, a two-day hacker house in Hong Kong, organized by Blockchain Academy during the week. So this is an exciting time, but I think for developers, we are really hoping this. As I mentioned earlier, there will be a lot of developers from Web2 that are now drawn to this whole AI phenomenon. They may or may not fancy what we have done in crypto in the past 10, 15 years, but nobody's going to say no to AI. That presents a huge opportunity for all of us. Um, so watch out for, from the Definity team, what we are up to. Our team, we have been developing a lot of monumental R&D features of the roadmap in the last 2 years, like the video I just shared with you on this basis. Uh, it's uh, it's a very exciting time, I think, for developers, and also a very exciting time for the content creators. Uh, about this, I think uh, there's a future where everyone should be the owner of his or her own narrative, of his or her own life story. Because 100 years from now, if Google search still exists, if we are not able to find our own name from the first page of Google research, that means today we don't really exist. So how do we find a way to tell our own story? How do we find a way to persist our own narratives that, well, again, not only preserve our own necessary privacy, but also making our own individual stories available to the much wider audience? That is the key, I think, for the future. But Web3, with the emerging infrastructure opportunities from ICP and a few other blockchains, provides a very good platform for all the content creators, all the developers to build something quite interesting.
That's Samuel or J5 have anything to add in?
Yeah.
For
Yeah. For me, I'll be short. For our AI and an ecosystem, we will continue to grow our ecosystem with more Web3 and AI projects expected to join, fostering mutual value capture and propelling the ultimate goal of transforming human society with Web3 plus AI. In that cases, we are expecting or also welcoming other who wants to collaborate with us, and you can just contact us. Thank you.
okay, great. And J5, do you have anything
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
add on?
Can you hear me?
Yep, got it.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Cause
Yep.
it's not even showing that my speaker button there is working. Well, our as far as our community, I'm a content creator, so our utility lies in our community. We aim to if you're new into crypto, I would recommend anybody to come hang around our Discord and Telegram because we work to make that on board process a lot less pain painful when entering cryptocurrency. As you guys know, we're almost in bull run altcoin season, so we need to protect as many new users that do come into Web3. So that's one of the models, and kind of brings on that platform that we want to roll out. In fact, that's something that's almost done. I don't want to give a time date because the main thing about these platforms is when as Any stated, is security, right? So we want to make sure if anybody's connecting their wallet to our platform, everything is secure and has been audited. But we're also a hyper deflationary token, so we burn 1% of our weekly dex volume leading up to our huge halving event. So just like BTC, we created a hype event. It's our hyperinflationary burn event, which will be on April 18th next month, where we'll be burning 40% of our supply. So we've created these hyper deflationary measures to help our project appreciate over time and also create that hype. As you guys know, if you're a dev, you understand the marketing aspect to burn. So we're just a meme coin right now. We're focusing on the meme aspect and just integrating other projects throughout the space. So if you are a project and you want to have an AMA and you want to be part of getting your project out there, you can also reach out to us where we'll be able to cover that AMA on our YouTube channel. I have about 20,000 followers. So, this is something that can get your project even more exposure. Of course, we don't ask for tokens or anything. This is something where we're looking to integrate with new projects, especially in the AI narrative and in the meme narrative. So right now, our main focus is just onboarding new people in a painless fashion, and just bringing back that integrity character to crypto, showing that there are good meme coins, devs, AI, whatever your narrative is, that actually are transparent, that's willing to show your face and really do what's right in crypto, because you don't really see that a lot. And of course, y'all see everything that's going on with the whole SBF situation. So we just want to show people that there are teams that's willing to come out here and do this the right way. And our aim is just to onboard new crypto users and then make their navigation across the ecosystem as easy as possible.
All right. Thanks. Thanks for that, and thanks everyone for their comments and insights. Why don't we go to the audience and see what questions they have for you guys, and I'll bring up the first one. Hey, Justin, you're on the stage. Please go ahead with your question. You need to unmute
Hello,
yourself.
can you hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. My question is, what is the benefit of properly investing money in your project, and how do you help investors, and how will your project achieve maximum profit in the future? This is my question.
Is this something you can any of the teams can answer?
So I guess like any Inu, it's a community run project and like a meme token for first of all. So at least from the legal side, can't comment on any profits. But should people appreciate the multi-chain future as well as some of the utilities coming from any Inu, members of the community could benefit from that.
Oh, yeah, I can answer the question as well. Thank you for this question, Justin. So, just from an investor standpoint, obviously, we as we are the Definitive Foundation, who is behind ICP, we won't be able to comment on any price forecast or anything. But you should always think about, if you look at any project, whether it's a decentralized app or like a meme coin, such as any Inu or etc., or like a blockchain like such as ICP. The main focus is what kind of a unique value proposition does this team provide, right? What can it do that cannot be done elsewhere by others? So from ICP standpoint, what we're capable of is one of a kind. If you look at so say the age-old matrix transaction per second, if we follow the Ethereum definition of what should be included in a transaction, on ICP we are able to process 230,000 transactions per second. And so in terms of performance, and ICP is quite a few notches above all other layer one blockchains. And we are the only blockchain that can run, that can host the front end of web services, as I mentioned earlier, using the powerful Kinesis smart contract. So that's very unique. Is that going to achieve mass adoption at some point? That's our goal, but no one can say for sure. But it's very aspirational. It's as Anu mentioned, it's a bit of a long shot, right? Because the world, the internet, is dominated by several extremely well-funded, very large big tech firms. So we are igniting a revolution, a technology evolution for a very decentralized future. Can we succeed, and can we invite other fellows to join this journey? That's why I'm here. That's why we need to evangelize decentralization and ICP. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a very strenuous journey, I think. But that's what makes this whole journey interesting, because it's if we can succeed, it will change the entire industry, not just crypto, not just AI, but the entire internet as we know it, or maybe the entire computing industry as we know it. I think that's a future that is worth looking forward to.
Okay, great. Do do you have time for one more questions from the audience?
Yeah, I can take one more question.
Okay, then let's do that.
Did you want us to answer that question?
Yeah, please go ahead if you have any.
Yeah, because I was seeing it. Yeah, the space keeps going in and out. But just to answer the young lady's question, and we do appreciate that question. There, from a community standpoint, normally like our community would be here. But this is a little bit different. We're on the Western time, so I'm on the Eastern time actually. In the States here. So what we do is we do community rewards weekly. Part of that is having a J5 variant profile picture. So usually every Sunday I stream, and what I'll do is I'll spin the wheel, and anybody who contribute to the ecosystem with just shilling our project and having one of our J5 variants, what we would call, when you'll see these cool little pictures throughout the audience. Usually it's like that, but this is a later stream here. We give out rewards every Sunday, just based on you interacting with the ecosystem. And even when you hold a certain amount of J5 tokens, you are put into different Telegram channels that give out alpha throughout the week on altcoins and different things that's going throughout the space. So we've created a utility based on our community and based on the content creating channel that I've built. So to answer your question, just interacting with our ecosystem and being part of the community puts you in the position to earn J5 rewards on a weekly basis. So I think that's kind of cool for anybody that's coming into crypto, especially with how volatile these meme coins can be. You can earn some rewards, and then out of nowhere, we start to have one of those moves to the upside, or whatever, and you've earned these rewards on a weekly basis. So it's just a cool little thing we do every week, where we just give out rewards. We believe in sharing the love, spreading the love, and giving out these community rewards and helping people earn in a passive way.
Perfect. Thanks for that. And we also have Andy on the stage. Andy, you can unmute and ask your question now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah.
Thank you for bringing me up to speak. My question is, how do you plan to provide a user-friendly platform to onboard and attract non-crypto users?
Oh, I mean, this is a very fun question for Any Inu. That's the whole thesis behind Any Inu, is we imagine a future where there's hundreds of these L1s and like L2s And people don't really care about the underlying ledger technology anymore. They really care about the tokens and protocols on top. So any Inu is really about bringing anyone on any chain from any community together, and that's the future we envision. Like our entire token is about onboarding non-crypto users, about onboarding anyone to the community.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Keep building. We'll keep supporting you.
Uh, what about the guests? Do you have any thoughts about this as well?
Yeah, that
Anything?
yeah, that
Yeah.
that pretty goes much to what I said previously, about our Discord and what we have going on in our Telegrams. Like I would recommend anybody to come and just be a part of that. We get new people in our Telegram each and every day, and they'll have questions on, and you guys know the normal questions on if they're not using a centralized exchange, they want to know like how to be a DJ, how do I use my MetaMask, how do I use my Trust Wallet, and so many people come into the space and just don't know how to use these tools because let's be real, they're not the easiest to use. It's not. We still need that adoption for retail to truly get in and understand how to use this stuff. So our Discord, to echo there, is built upon helping any new person that gets into crypto and any experienced person that has a question about crypto. We're active 24/7. There's always somebody from all over the country that's willing to answer a question, and we just do that in a way that's not condescending, but a way when anybody can basically learn. So again, check out our handles, man. Check out our handles from our TG, our Discord. Come be part of that community, interact with it, earn some rewards, and just be part of something great, because that's what these memes do. They bring new people into cryptocurrency. That's how I got into crypto, right? Seeing the whole Doge craze, right? Elon Musk talking about Doge was big back in the last bull cycle, and it was like, wow, I want to be a part of that. And these communities now, it's just so many different communities, so many different walks of life, and these spaces are great because it gives an opportunity for teams to kind of like speak what they're working on, and for anybody that's listening to say, okay, I can rock with that. I want to be a part of that. So yeah, come hang. That's what we want everybody to come interact and come hang with us.
Yeah, I also want to chime in for this question. Thank you, Andy, for this great question. I think this is probably the most difficult question of all facing the entire industry, because the traditional way of using wallet, whether that's MetaMask from Ethereum, or the the very popular OKX Web3 wallet, or even the Phantom from Solana, they're still not easy to use for the mainstream users. It's still quite a bit of a hurdle for people to register, to manage your private keys and all that. So my suggestion is, just from ICP, we have something very unique called internet identity. It's a bit of an acquired taste for the traditional crypto users, because it's taken an entirely different approach from MetaMask, which is obviously a browser-based extension. So with internet identity, this is our way of wallet or DID, to onboard any web users. What it does is, well, to spare all of you from all the gory technical details, it does not ask you to store your private keys. Basically, the private key is stored in the hardware device that you use, whether that's a computer or your iPhone, or just a YubiKey. So it saves a lot of troubles for users in terms of the key management. It uses a FIDO2 technology that is now getting popular on all the Apple devices as well. But actually, Definity, we started using this 3 years ago, so it's a bit of ahead of the industry on this. Um, and also another benefit of using internet identity is, once you have this identity, we call that anchor. Once you have an anchor, you will be able to use all the applications from the ICP ecosystem. And also, what's more, you will have a unique principal ID in each and every one of those applications. Um, that no other applications can see. Because right now the current problem of MetaMask or this Web3 or most of the Web3 wallets is once you once you start using that on one application, everybody else knows who you are because it's transparent, it's on chain, etc. Um, but this is very difficult for the traditional web users. It is also a problem for the traditional web users, of course, because if you use Google Gmail to authenticate yourself on any web services, um, and then Google has that, and you do not know where that information will be populated elsewhere. So with internet identity, we sort of create two layers. That is where you have the total control of your own identity without the hassle of managing private keys. But at the same time, you'll be able to access all the different decentralized applications without without the worry that they will collude and figure out who you are and try to spam you with their advertisements. So we are hoping this internet identity can at some point also gain mass adoption. We have more than 2 million internet identity users now worldwide, and the number is growing steadily every month. So check it out, internet identity from ICP.
All right. Thanks for the question, Andy, and thanks for our guest for all your comments. I think it's about time. It's been an hour and a half. I think we have a great time here, but I think but then again, we have to end here. Thanks for joining today's space, and Annie, you knew Herbert from Definity, J5 team, and Samuel from AINN. Thanks a lot for coming up and share a lot of useful insights. Uh, Hope we can do this again. And thanks everyone for joining this space. And stay tuned. We'll look forward to see you again on the next space. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Eric.
Andy.
Thank you,
Appreciate you,
SNX.
good brother.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, everyone. Yep. See you around.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.